DC Universe Online is a free-to-play, massively multiplayer online action game set in the popular DC Comics universe. Become one of a new breed of heroes or villains and wield incredible powers as you go to war with legendary characters such as Batman, Superman, Lex Luthor, and the Joker. We've actually put quite a few hours into this in the last few days, and we rather liked it. And if you want to find out why, just stay tuned.
I think so.
Are you ready to go, or are you prepared?
I am prepared.
You are, or are you not prepared?
You are not prepared.
See, now I have to start it over.
I am prepared.
We're here trying to record a thing, and then you ruin it with...
with Illidan.
So hello, everybody.
Realize...
Hey, shut up. I'm starting the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the thing. I said be quiet. Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Okay.
To the Thaco Gamers, my name's Matt, and I have here with me today Playmats, and we are playing... I thought you were going to say it. You're not going to say it? You're going to make me say it?
DCU Legend, or DCU Online.
I wanted to say DDO. That stupid D was killing me.
I almost did the same thing. Hey, do you want to play DDO? I mean, DC,
So we're playing DC Universe Online, and
yes.
We've been playing it for the last week or so. We streamed it for a couple of days on Twitch, and we've been... We've been kind of liking the game a little bit, so
I kind of want to play it more than I want to make a video about it.
I know. It's like last night when we were done. You're like, I'm just flying around.
I know.
Like
you and
people.
Chad both disconnected. It's what, like 12:30?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm literally sitting there just practicing moves on random cops, just beating the crap out of them. And then you guys are talking and I catch myself and I'm like, I'm literally thinking to myself, I'm doing nothing in this game, but I'm still having fun.
Yep.
This game, like, I don't know, man, this game, it really caught my attention, and it was definitely not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. Because I had played this before, and it was my idea to play it, and you're kind of like, all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Do your stupid thing for your stupid channel.
That's right.
So, what were your expectations of the game before you got into actually playing it? What were you expecting?
So, in the past, like all of superhero games, they're either like the PlayStation or Xbox games where it's just kind of open environment and you go through the story and do your thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like exploratory type. And
Sure.
it's just kind of lame. The combat, there's like 5 moves and you do them over and over, and you know, it kind of loses its luster right away.
Mm-hmm.
Not speaking for the new Spider-Man, which I heard is phenomenal.
By the way, I'm getting that very soon.
Are you really?
Yes, I am. I haven't bought a PS4 game in a long time, and I'm going to get Spider-Man probably this week.
See, I heard it was really good. They were actually talking about it on the radio this morning.
Anyways, we'll talk another game for another time. Press on.
Yeah, right. So my expectations were quite low. I had that picture in my head, the old X-Men games for like the Nintendo.
Say, show your age.
Or yeah, just, you know, like the 3/4 top down. You got your stupid little character. You know, you play the. I was planning on playing a pre-generated character like Batman, Superman.
In this, you were?
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Like, I knew nothing of this game, and I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So you were expecting something like that. You didn't know so when you got into it, what really caught your attention the most? What really surprised you? What'd you like about it?
The first thing that really surprised me was the lack of menu access right off the bat. I hate it. I hate games. I know they want to get you in, they want to get you hooked and everything like that, but I'm one of those guys that likes to get in there, mess with my graphics, mess with my sound, get it right, and then go for the cinematic story,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that video.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it
the
was
beginning
very cool.
opening cinematic. I watched that like when this game first came out, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I started watching this video, and I was like, oh my god, I watched this. Not only did I watch this, but because of that cinematic, back when I first started watching it, I watched all of the story just on YouTube without playing the game, and I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cricket? You got anything? Nothing. Nothing. I pour my heart out, and you give me nothing.
I was just waiting to see. Anyways.
That is called dead air. You
Wait,
in
wait,
the
wait.
radio should know this.
Wait, hold on. What was your line from the one? Wow, that's super interesting. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, that's super interesting.
We were kind of at a stalemate there, and I wanted to see how long you would go.
I was waiting for you because usually you have something to say after I blast things out.
Anyways,
but no, I mean it's the story as far as the cinematics. You know, I love cinematics. If you watch any video on this channel, I love cinematics. I love the way they tell the stories, and it seems like the more MMOs that come out, they come out with these cinematics, and they're doing so much better telling a story. And when you've got a background like DC or the DC universe, and you've got these major players and superpowers, I mean, come on. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a story like that. You just you can't.
This game is better than the recent DC movies.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. By leagues and bounds.
Yep.
Like capes and leotards. It's like, dude, seriously, I would rather watch somebody play this game than go watch Batman vs Superman.
So when I had played this game before, Chad actually showed this to me years ago on the PlayStation 3. And I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. So I ended up getting it on PC and playing it for a while. But no one at the time was, everyone else was playing something else. So, I didn't stay in it for a long time. But, the character creation, very robust. There's so many different types of superheroes that you can make. Like we're currently playing flying, and you've only played flying, right? I've
only played flying so far.
So you can create like a Flash type character, kind of a Spider-Man-ish type character, even though it's Marvel. But I think Batman is who they based it off of. But Batman can climb up walls. And a Superman type character that can fly, and those are just your movement, your locomotion, like how you get around. Yeah, you could still any types
get
around. So you can get any of these types of weapons and fire or ice or earth or electricity or just what you're like a force powers or something, right? Isn't that what yours is? Something like that? Yeah,
so you get to pick your weapon, and your weapon, like you said, can be like bows, guns, bow staff, one-handed weapons. What I chose was hand cannons. Which just sounds amazing. And they're really cool. And it's basically you're just shooting your powers from your hands.
Okay. That's right. And then you have
you've got your powers.
Right. You have two sets of abilities that you have. One set is your weapon, which for me was a bow and Matt was the hand cannons. And then I picked ice and you picked fire. And then from there that's what gives you your hotbar abilities. So like your 1, 2, 3, and 4, for me it's freezing people in place or dropping a giant ice ball on somebody and all this other stuff along with your weapon skills. And the weapon combat is kind of like, I was describing it to Chad, even though I know it's not really exactly the same as that, but it's the most an MMO has ever felt like this to me, so that's why I had to describe it that way. But it felt like playing a fighter game like Tekken or Mortal Kombat or something like that. Where you have your X triangle X circle, to do your little row of uppercuts and elbows and then knee them in the face and punch them down or whatever. And it's very similar to that, except with the mouse buttons if you're not playing with a controller. So it's like left click tap, left click tap, left click hold, and then you'll do this, where you shoot and you jump and then you kick up with your feet and then you blast out a bunch of and there's just tons of different combos. So much to where Matt and I were so focused on those and learning how to do all of those, because there were probably as far as combinations you could do, there's probably 5 to 10 different ways that you can apply your attacks, probably more. And we were just trying to learn all those and doing all those and having so much fun with them that I said to him, like by the time we were like level 8 or 9, I'm like, oh, I forgot. I have all these ice abilities on my hotbar I haven't even touched.
Right.
We've been playing for like 4 hours or however long it was,
Yeah, and I was like, what are you talking about? I thought I've been using them the whole time, but I haven't. I've just been using my hand cannons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Now I've got this, and I can blow things up even more. It's just, I don't know. I really enjoyed this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it was good. We liked everything about what we saw in the game for the most part. The graphics are good. I have no problems with the graphics at all. You know, kind of
Hmm.
cartoony or whatever, but I think that just helped it age well because this is a pretty old game. It
Right.
came out in 2011, so
It's comic booky
yeah.
as far as like, well, it's comic book cartoony.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
the cartoony kind of helps it age, but it's that DC grit
Hmm.
comic book style, which
Especially
is
in
good.
Gotham.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
So when you're going through the character creation, we played villains, but it's the same with the heroes. You go through and create your character, and then you pick a mentor. So
Hmm.
the first characters we created, Matt picked Lex Luthor, and I picked the Joker. And because of that,
Hmm.
we started in different cities, and we could get together, but we couldn't like really quest together because it's more focused on the story quests, kind of.
Right.
So I could have
We
went
could do
with him.
random side quests, but we
Yeah.
couldn't really do any of the story stuff
And,
together, which was kind of a bummer. But
yeah, and those are kind of equivalent to like the world quests in WoW. Like there's just a quest that's
right,
just sitting out there, and if you just go there and just kill a bunch of guys or do whatever their thing is right in that area, it's not like a quest giver that gives you something to go halfway across the planet or whatever.
hmm,
Um, so, but anyway, so we ended up creating another character. We played those like 6 or 7, and then we created another character. And we just said, okay, no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. We just both picked the same mentor, so we could at least
right,
go on the quest line together and try out the stories.
yeah,
And that's what we did. And that's the characters that we have played the most now. We're up to I think 10. So, and this is
yeah,
there's a lot of
yep.
levels to this. We
Oh, I know. It seems like
it's
there's a ton of levels. I haven't even looked up to see how
yeah,
many there was.
definitely
Um,
a first impressions,
yeah,
but
but the first impressions are really good.
it is
I
really good.
really like. I cannot stress how much I have liked this game so far.
And anytime anybody says, like, when we give other games like a bunch of crap, and they're and they're like, well, you just have to get to end game or you have to get to whatever, this is proof
Hmm.
that you don't have to. The start of the game does not have to be horrible. Throw some cool
Right.
abilities at us. Oh, and there's another thing we forgot too, is when you're once you get to, I think it was level 9, you unlock another set of abilities, and for us, because we were flying, it unlocked flight. So
Right.
now, I think the abilities that I have on my hotbar now is I can fly around in a circle really fast and like create a tornado and suck people into it, and it does damage
Yep.
to them and stuns them. And
Yeah.
then what do you pick? You picked
I picked that, and then because I'm kind of tanky, so I pull them in, and then I use my fire stuff to like ignite everybody around me. But I also picked the one where you can fly down really fast
oh
and
yeah,
hit
that's right.
people, because I was I was flying way up into the air, and then I would like I love the fact that when you go down in the air, it gives you like this, what do they call it, like the terminal velocity, or not
Hmm.
terminal velocity,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like the power speed. You hit your max speed, and it's just like this. The sound is like a burst,
Like
like you're
like
hitting a
breaking the
Mach or
sound
something
barrier.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like boom, and then you just start going really fast. But with this ability, anything you hit when you come down goes flying. And I was wrecking these cars, and I was like squealing, laughing so
Mhm.
hard last night. But yeah, it was fun,
All right,
and I will
so
probably do it again.
so we've kind of went over the kind of the gist of what the game's all about, and obviously we like the game. So we've kind of been doing now with our videos is Matt and I secretly come up with a list of pros and cons for games, and then we kind of bring them out at the end of these videos and talk about them and see secretly. So,
You want to do pros first?
yeah, we can. I'm cool with
Okay.
that. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I think I went first last time.
Okay, so you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. I'm assuming that you're going to have this one unless you specifically didn't include it because you knew I would.
I almost thought about it.
Best character creation in
I
any
did.
game
I actually
I've
left
ever
that one
played.
out. There's a
Yeah.
couple that I left out specifically because I thought you might pick them.
Mhm. So,
But yeah, the character creation in this game is phenomenal. I
Amazing.
love it. And I would venture to say creating a character in this took us longer than any game we've played,
yes.
just because we went through everything.
Mhm.
And I mean, like almost everything we threw on our characters while we were making them, just cracked us up and made us laugh and made us want to be that person.
So if you can, for the best way to describe it, because, you'll see in this video a couple little clips of character creation or whatever, but the best way to describe it is you can create somebody that looks either completely like or any little feature of any of these types of superheroes you can apply to your character. And I'm going to say Colossus, any type of a Wolfman type thing, or a Thundercat, the Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
And I'm more of a Marvel guy, so I'm going to have more of these. Batman, obviously Superman, any of those types of like leotard wearing people, Superman and Wonder Woman, stuff like that.
Yeah, Green Arrow, Flash.
And what were like the glowing skin? You could make like a Vision type dude if
like
you wanted
Dr.
to.
Manhattan.
Yes. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know that there's not a superhero. I mean, I'm sure there is. You can have zombie types of skins.
Yep. And cyborgs or robots.
Yeah, cyborgs, robots. I mean, just plant people like Poison Ivy or whatever. Like all of these different things. And then the costumes are just all over. Like I went through all of these sweet superhero costumes, and in the end, it looks kind of lame. I just went with black t-shirt and black jeans.
T-shirt and jeans.
And a cape.
But he's like, there's so many options. I have to be boring.
Jeans and a t-shirt. I thought that was unique for a character.
I'm just going to make myself.
Honestly, I've always been a fan of Wolverine, so I like I picked that primal stance for my first character too. But I
think all three of us did.
I know. But I mean, so you can create, I went with ice. So I took like a glowy type of skin, and then you could pick whatever color you wanted to glow and adjust the brightness. So you can have him be void of light totally and suck all the light out, or you can, I have him like this, almost looks like an icicle type of dude, I guess is kind of what I was looking at.
Yeah.
But yeah, the character creation, super awesome. And there's just so many options, and I could go in and just create another character for another 2 hours and thoroughly enjoy all of it. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, what's your first pro?
My first pro, for being a game as old, and we already hit on it, as old as it is, the graphics. I was not expecting them. I really enjoy them, and it flows really well with the universe. It pulls you in.
Yep.
Like you're actually a part of it.
Nope, I totally agree. I have not had a problem with the graphics. I was even, like when we were talking before, when you fly up really high, it's got like that Grand Theft Auto vibe where you can see all the cars and stuff like that. In the street.
And we would do that in Grand Theft Auto. We would hijack a helicopter and fly that way up in the air and just look at the city and the lights. And you could do that. You could do that in this game without a helicopter. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna wait again, see how long.
Cut you off.
Worst host ever. Anyways, so yeah, no, I agree with all that. I love the graphics in this. I think they look really good. My next pro is the Destructible Environment. I know that might be kind of a minor thing, but I love that. I love that. Really brings you in to like, oh, shit's going down over there when when a car explodes and a fence comes flying past your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't help but not look and see. It's different than just, any other MMO where there's a warrior and whatever, and they're fighting and they're just whatever, they're just fighting a kobold and whoop-de-doo. There is a lot of destruction going on where these superheroes are fighting, and literally cars are blowing up. And when the fences
civilians
explode,
are running and screaming.
Civilians are running and screaming. Sometimes the civilians will help. And like there was that one where those people, because we're villains, those people were trapped in that orb. Do you remember that? And then I picked it up and threw it at you, and it bounced down the street with those people in it. That's awesome.
Pretty freaking sweet.
And when they include little things like that, I love that kind of stuff. I think that's so cool. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of a trivial thing, but that really to me helps draw me into a game when they, put the effort into things like that. So it's super cool.
Right.
And like I said, I love when people that are not us are questing somewhere and we happen to be like, wandering by, and then
Right.
you're just like, what the hell's going on over there?
You just see
awesome.
powers going flying
Yes.
everywhere.
So super
People
cool.
with electricity flowing around them, flying through the air, running super fast. You're like, God, that's so cool.
Yep. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the combat. And I know Chad had an issue with it, and he compared it not directly, but using almost the same words that I used in Dungeons and Dragons Online, where he said he didn't feel like the combat was impactful.
Yeah.
And I completely disagree because of the destructible environments, the way that your character actually uses his abilities on people. It feels like you're hitting them. You know, it doesn't throw you off. It actually, you know, you hit your button, your mouse button, and you do a power, and you see the person get hit. You see the damage come up. You know, it's got the what do they call that? The floating text or whatever, the floating damage meter.
Yep.
And it just kind of like pops off there. And then you just keep jamming on the buttons. You know, it's kind of a button masher, but it's really fun.
It is. In the combat, I'm gonna my number 3 for pros was combat, so I'm gonna join in with you on this. So you're gonna have the next one also because of that. But like I said, it's a button masher, but it plays like I'm going to just use Tekken again as a reference for that. You can sit with a controller or whatever and play Tekken and just mash on the buttons and kill, you know, make your way a decent way through the game, you know, kill a few guys or do whatever. And you can play that way minimally for a while, but once you start learning your combos and all these abilities and stuff, it really, the combat really comes out, and then you start blocking and you break free of your the holds that they put you in and your stuns or whatever. And it truly is. I think this is the best version, even though there is kind of a tiny bit of tab target with like your you know, you do target on people, lock onto people kind of.
You can.
Yeah.
I have not yet.
Right. That's what I mean. You kind of can, but this is the best version of action combat of, I think, any MMO I've ever played.
I agree. And including WildStar. I really liked WildStar's combat, and, you know, with the green stuff on the ground and for the, you know, healing and all that kind of stuff, and how you throw your little kind of area of effect.
Yeah.
Damage, but this does it way better.
Yeah, this is no shit action combat.
Right.
I mean, this is not like oh, they're kind of faking it or whatever. I mean, the combat is super smooth and it feels impactful, like you said. But, you know, that's one of the reasons that the destructible environments are so cool, because of the you know, how it helps you to make your combat feel impactful. And I mean, you can just be wandering around anywhere. You can take out light posts and signs and cars and just pretty much anything that's floating around. But the way that they incorporate all of that with your using your skills and your abilities and all the other stuff, I just think was great. And I think it was, I mean, an MMO can't be as good as a fighting game, because fighting games, literally, it's just combat. There is nothing else. But it's close, man. It's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's really good, at least.
Yeah. And for an MMO, it's a bummer Chad couldn't make it on tonight, because it'd be nice to hear his, you know, side of the story or reasoning or whatever it would be for it. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But no, I agree with you. The combat is surprisingly good, even better than I remembered it.
I want to watch like 2 seasoned PvPers go at it.
That would be
game,
so insane to watch,
just to see what it's like. And I think it would just blow my mind. I think it would be so crazy and cool just to watch something like that.
Yeah, no kidding. So okay, so my number 3 was combat. So we've already talked about that. So what's your number 3 pro?
My number 3 pro is kind of everything that we've hit on, all encompassed into one. Overall gameplay and just being immersed in an actual DC universe.
Online. Like being in a DC universe online.
Online. But it pulls you in and makes you become that superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Through your actions and the way that just the way you are in that game, and everything around you being so good as it is,
No, I
makes you
agree.
feel immersed.
I agree. That's actually a very good immersion is a good, just a good, and it does. It just kind of
It pulled me in.
Encompasses everything about what we said. But you're right, because this is one of those games where I get my guy and I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. Let's
You
go.
jump on your dude. I'm like literally standing on a building right now, looking down at the street.
I know.
Just looking at my dude, and I'm like, he looks freaking sweet.
I know.
Standing there, Just I want to get down there and just murder a bunch of people, and like it makes me want to level this guy to become more powerful and do even more bad things.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. The immersion in this is good. I like just flying around. Like when you're flying, it's so smooth and
it is.
And even there's also you never played it, and you should try it. Create a character with the acrobatics instead of flying, because when they run on the street, they bound and they go really, really fast, faster than the flying guys can go on foot.
Right.
And then you do these huge leaps, and then you can Spider-Man up these buildings real fast and stuff, and it's super cool.
That's why I want to do like a speedster, just to see what
just
it's like.
See what they're like.
You can run up the buildings and all that kind of stuff, and I mean, it seems really freaking sweet.
Yep. All right, so okay, we got all those. Now on to the cons.
Enough of the good stuff.
Enough of the good stuff.
On to the bad stuff.
And we had to kind of reach a little bit for cons, I think.
I came up with 3 pretty good cons.
Did you?
You want me to name them all off right now?
No, one at a time. We're not going to change the way we do things. Jesus, why would you do that?
Dude, they're pretty good cons.
All right, do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay. I don't like the UI. I'm constantly, especially in character creation. Like, I like the character creation, but it could have been like delivered a little bit better the way you get through those menus, because I don't know how many times I clicked on gear and I was changing the color of my gear instead of actually changing my gear. You know what I mean?
I can see that. I can agree with that a little bit. The menu wheels.
Yeah.
They were kind of set up a little weird, but once you got the hang of it, I mean, it kind of flowed. And the UI, I think, in the game is on par with Elder Scrolls. You've got the limited amount of action bars.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the I guess menus would be a better way to do it. Not the UI, but your menu screens.
Yeah, the menu screens are a little rough to navigate. But I mean, granted, we are level 10. We've put some time into the game, but we're not pros by any means.
Right. Yeah.
But navigating those menus is a little difficult.
So that was my first con. What's yours? Go do it.
From what we saw so far, and I know it's going to differ from popular opinion, but there's a lack of world PvP for me.
I had that and I crossed it off because I knew you'd say it.
Did you?
Yes.
I love my PvP, dude. And dude, they have the events. Like, they literally broadcast out their world PvP events, and I'm like,
go ahead.
Really? Like, seriously? Like, we could just jump into this foray and start doing our thing, and we get there and nothing is there.
Only
There's
us.
Nobody there.
Only
it's
us.
Just us. So we destroyed some bank vans, took some money, and won the event.
Nobody stopped us
with nobody there. In like a high level, it was a high level area. I think high level. I mean, the characters around us were like what, 96?
I don't remember. I thought they were like in their 50s maybe, but either way, they could murder us easily.
Right? Yeah, easy. But I mean, it seemed like it gave me. So the beginning area gave me the feeling that there was a big community.
Right, because as soon as you log in,
there were people everywhere.
Yeah, as soon as you get through that tutorial, there were probably right where you spawn, there were like 20 people just standing there. You know what I mean?
And it could be just the fact that we're a low level in a low level area. And, yeah, they'll have PvP events, and maybe it's for the low levels to get in and do, and there's not a lot of them, but literally nobody showed up.
Yeah. So no, I agree with that. I didn't include it in mine specifically because I knew that you were incapable of not pointing out the PvP on the world.
The PvP does seem pretty sweet, though.
I'm sure it would be awesome. And we dueled. The duels were
just
fun.
our duels were pretty fun, even though you were just shooting me with arrows the first one.
Yeah, well, it's before I knew about. I played the
about
first
your right mouse button.
the first day. I didn't even know you could do like right, left, or left, hold, right, and all this other kind of stuff. I had no idea.
Clicking everything.
I was just shooting
for
and
like
casting
3 hours.
casting my one ability at you. But so the second time I did a little bit better, but you still definitely beat me. But you're obviously, I'm not ever going to try to admit that I am superior to you at PvP, even though
You did that one time when we did the Albion Online. Remember that?
Well, I was superior to you then.
No, you weren't.
We don't need to talk about that.
You completely left out the first duel.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, anyways, my next con. My next con is the questing. And don't get me wrong, it's actually half of the questing is a pro. Like doing your story quests and stuff like that. They keep you going. I like how Joker pops in, talks to you, lets you know what's going on. They kind of bring you into these dungeons and all this other stuff. So that's cool. But if you're not doing your story quest, there's not a lot of questing to do, and I don't really love that. Because unless it's like me and you and we create a character together, I don't know how often we would be able to go quest together. Because there's such a from my limited experience here, but they're just not. I think we did every side quest that there was. What was it, 5 of them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
But so
it did get us the levels, though.
Well, most of that was story questing, though. Most of those levels we got were through those Joker quests that we were doing together. So and maybe
just killing side people for fun,
right?
Lots and lots of killing.
Now there may be quest hubs that I don't know about or something, but it sure doesn't seem like it. Like that place where you start, there's a lot of people hanging out in there that looks like you're kind of like Stormwindy type place or whatever,
right?
And I'm just not seeing a ton of quests like that, in those places. And there's a couple out in the world that you grab, but it's very minimal. So. But if you start this game with somebody and you can go through the story quest together, you can quest the whole time through and be totally happy with it. Because the story quests are great. I have no problems with them. But like if you just started just now, I either have to blindly follow through your story quests, just waiting for you to catch up. Yeah. Or you know what I mean? So, that part of it I don't love. But so that's my con. What's your next one?
So my next wait, what was your story questing? I was like, wait, did you just skip yourself?
Remember that thing we just talked about for the last 3.5 minutes?
So
hello everybody and welcome to the Thaco Gamers. It's just me today.
I was having a really hard time coming up with cons for this game. So my second con is any of Chad's cons. So anything bad that Chad has to say about this game
is a legitimate con.
is something that I hate.
You hate Chad's cons?
I hate Chad's cons. He hated combat. I loved combat.
He's not even here to defend himself.
I know, it sucks for him. Maybe he'll show up for the next one.
All right. Well, I got nothing on that. I think everyone is allowed their own opinion
to their own opinion.
Yep. So. And Chad
Chad
and I have disagreed on many of. If you can go back to our podcasting days, you remember that podcast where Chad and I almost got in a yelling argument about BDO?
Yes.
So, Chad and I are allowed to have our separate opinions about things. So, okay, so that's yours. I got nothing to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
My last con is, and I even mentioned this to you, and you're like, "Yeah, I don't see it." I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of rubber bandy, but not. Sometimes my character or other player characters or whatever just kind of don't flow very well, especially when we're in combat. And I don't
Okay.
know if maybe that's what Chad, or even the cars. Like I just was playing a little bit ago, and this car was pulling up to the intersection, and it like it's like the car dropped frames. Like everything else was fine, but the car dropped frames and was like in one place, and all of a sudden, boom, it was in the other place. And they kind of rubber band a little bit. And I actually had mentioned that to Chad the other day, and he said that he notices that too.
Well, that would be another one of Chad's cons I don't like. I honestly, I haven't noticed it, and it could be happening, but I just haven't noticed it because I'm so immersed in doing what we're doing at the time that I didn't or haven't seen any of that.
I can't.
I've seen it where I've blown up a car or something, or thrown it, in the air, and I've seen it bounce off something weird and does the little glitchiness or whatever, but I haven't seen it just on its own.
Just stand, next time you get a chance, stand outside the nightclub and just watch the people running by, or watch the cars and give it about, I mean, there's might not be a lot going on at that particular point. But I definitely notice it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually not recording video right now. I'm just recording audio because I have other video clips. So maybe I'll grab a video clip and put it in over top of this. But just
I won't believe it until I see the video.
I'll get one specifically for you then, because it's pretty bad. It really is. It's pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it happen a lot?
Yeah, all the time. I'm watching it
really
consistently on my screen here.
Wow.
That's why I was surprised when you said you weren't seeing it. I mean, it's bad. So
that's crazy.
My character doesn't do it, and the way the cities and the streets and all that stuff, like all that is super fluid and looks really nice. But the pedestrians running, the cars driving, and other player characters, and maybe I'm spoiled by WoW on ultra at 60 frames per second, because WoW doesn't. That game is amazing. Like, those guys are where they are, and everything's always smooth. And unless someone has just bad latency on their end, they don't rubber band or bounce around. You know what I mean?
They also don't have interactive civilians or people running around mainly, unless it's a played character.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto doesn't have this problem either. So it's just...
It does sometimes.
I'm not listening to you.
I've seen it in that game.
I have the power of muting you, and I just may do that.
Aw.
My con...
Hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
My con is your con of Chad's cons. I'm officially siding with Chad.
Black hole of conning. But you're really going to like my next cons.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You have one con left. What's your last con?
I do have. Actually, this is 3 cons in one.
Okay. Are they all 3 of Chad's
for
cons? Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, they're none of Chad's cons.
Oh.
But it's Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, and the Candyman.
What?
They're all cons.
My God. That's horrible.
I told you I was having a really hard
stupid.
time coming up with cons.
Hold on. I got to mute you. How do I mute you out of this?
No.
This is horrible.
But.
That was dumb. Oh. If you've made it this far in the video, please leave a comment about what you think about what Matt just said. Was that unacceptable?
Name your favorite con.
Should he be removed? Should he be stricken from all videos at this point?
What about Con Air?
Con Air. It's horrible. Oh, so unimpressive. I'm really disappointed.
Oh, come on, that was good. It literally took me like 5 seconds to come up with all 3 of those.
Lame. So, all right.
And not because they're bad actors, but because they've played cons.
I figured that's what you were talking about.
It wasn't just.
You can't say Sean Connery's a bad actor. Who thought you thought that?
No, I don't know. You never know.
So, all right. So now, before we wrap things up here, out of 10, what's your rating for this?
Oh man, this game, it's really good. Out of 10, I would have to give it.
This is overall too. So, like, is it worth playing even with the lack of people? That has to incorporate into your score. So,
Right.
not
And that
not
being
what it
said,
could be.
I think if you have somebody that you play games with constantly, bring them along into this game because it's way more fun with more people. And that being said, I would have to give this game, man, that's it, out of 10 is really tough.
So you
I'd
didn't
have to
plan ahead
say,
of time, huh? Do you want me to go first?
no, it's fine. I'm gonna go with 5 Superman capes and 2 batarangs.
I was going to use capes too.
Huzzah! Make fun of my cons again.
All right. So you're giving it a 7 total? 2
I'm giving it a
batarangs?
7. I'll give it 7 out of 10.
Okay. I'm actually also I got to think of something other than capes then. What am I going to do? Oh,
right.
okay. So that's easy enough. I give it 7.5 leotards.
Okay.
So
That's lame.
oh, I took my capes.
Dude, 3 I-beams and
3 I-beams.
3 I-beams and 4.5 poison ivies.
Oh, that was badass.
I don't know how you get half of it. I've poison
I
ivy,
get-
but...
I give it 7 battered childhoods.
Oh, Jesus.
7 dead parents.
7 dead parents.
There, how's that? Did I redeem myself with that?
Got it. It's like Infinity War. Or Bad Man. Shut up. Your parents died on a planet. Wait, aren't your parents dead too? I was only a boy. If you haven't watched Bad Man, you have to watch Bad Man on College Humor
That's all Matt can
before
bring
you
up.
before you play this game.
You won't get the full effect of this game without watching Bad Man.
You won't.
So thank you for joining us on the Thaco Gamers. And hey, if there's any games that you guys would like us to play and give you our 2 cents on, just let us know in the comments down below. You can also let us know who had the best reference there at the end, if it was the 7 dead parents or the 7 capes and 2 batarangs. And yeah.
Orphans.
Feel free to like or subscribe the video. You can check out our other videos on the channel where we delve into VR, and also we have a lot of videos where we comment on comments that people left in our videos. So, hey, you might want to leave some comments in here. Maybe we'll bring you up in a future video. So,
And
that's
if
all
you
I
are
got.
going to leave a comment, make sure that you give us who your favorite movie player or movie star con is.
That's dumb. No one's
Come
going to do
on.
that. There's not going to be.
I bet you they will.
Scroll through the comments. I bet you there's not one there.
There's not.
Well,
I'm
I'm
putting
assuming
one on
people are
right
going to. No, you can't. You don't count. You can't make any fake accounts either.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us on the Thaco Gamers.
Deal.
We'll see you guys next time.
Peace. He says, "You're so stupid." Oh my God.
Why am I stupid? What are you talking about?
Not you. I said we.
Oh, I know. I agree.